if I just wanted to grab that line, I just said start and end points there, and then I can save it. It's not working on this. Oh yeah, okay. I'm used to doing this on my phone, so it's a little bit different here, but anyways, you get the idea. I'm going to call it 7 on 7 because that's what it sounds like to me. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but anyways. Could be just a cool cell. So cool. I use Amazing Slowdowner like that for years, just because a lot of the school I came from, people were saying don't slow down stuff. I don't really subscribe to that anymore. I think you should try and do it at real time. It's definitely okay to go and check your work and, you know, bring it down however slow. I watch, you know, Melissa Aldana's, you know, Instagram, and it seems like she's slowing stuff down like crazy tempos. So, and I just find it's really good for accuracy too. And I would play along with that at that speed, and it's kind of like slowing down your metronome. So I think that's really sick. And eventually, like if I could queue up some of the songs I've worked on before, I have like huge amounts of little loops that I've made and then I can then use. So that's kind of Amazing Slowdowner. That's kind of what it does. And I really, really, really like it and recommend it. I'm pretty certain I paid for the full version. So that's that. Amazing Slowdowner. What else? I do like Drum Genius, although it doesn't really feature a lot for me these days. I have paid for Drum Genius as well. But here, again, this is just better than a metronome, or different than a metronome if you want something that's going to be different. You can get a variety of beats, and you can speed them up or slow them down. Maybe this one shouldn't make it in there. I'm not really sure. I don't really use it that much, but I do have it. TE Tuner. I think I got this one from Ben Wendell. It's a metronome. It's metronome. Not sure too much what to say about it. It does a lot of metronome things. I like the fact that it's visually, I can, if I have like anything that's purple is going to be emphasized. If I want to take that off, I can just go 1, 2, 3, 4 and just have straight 4 beats. You can do different accents. I'm working on the song 9 Lives by Bob Reynolds, which is in, has a bar of 4/4 and a bar of 5/4. So you can see here I've created that kind of setup, so it can do complex stuff like that as well, which is great, and a variety of different sounds. It also has a tuner, which is nice if you want to use that. And it can also obviously make sound for you if you want to tune into like a particular note or something like that. So I just like it because it's kind of no nonsense metronome. It's been treating me really well. So I don't have a whole lot to say about that one. IrealPro. I got a lot to say about IrealPro. I do really like it. There's a couple caveats. I believe I have paid for this one as well. Yeah, so there's obviously the basic stuff. For those of you that don't know, if you click on this little worldly icon here, globy icon, you can jump in and grab some common stuff there. So that's cool. So what I have, you know, is I have a standard jazz playlist, I believe, and it shows that here. So I've imported all these songs. So let's just grab one and just take a quick look at it. So sure, Night Has 1,000 Eyes. It's going to queue up in its main key. Now, I'm a B flat instrument, so I'm usually going to use the transposition. Why did that not work? There we go. So yeah, I'll transpose it to B flat. Cool. You can also put it into any of the 12 keys that you want. You can change the tempo. That's cool. You can change how many times it's going to repeat. What else? If I want to loop, something else is like really great for people that are learning like me. I can loop 4 bars at a time, and it's just going to loop through those 4 bars, which is great. If I want to isolate a section, I can isolate 8 bars if I want. You can't go any lower than 2 bars, but that's fine. So that's that. You can also change, so I'll just, for the benefit of the doubt that maybe some people haven't heard how this thing sounds. So, you know, the sounds aren't stellar. I did pick up a nice tip from Steve Cordica about changing this to a Rhodes. Really makes a big difference in how it sounds. Just kind of sounds corny with the built-in piano. The Rhodes is kind of a little cooler, a little warmer. Play with the volumes here. You can add yourself a count in. So that's cool. All cool stuff. Whoops, lost my 9,000 eyes. So that's that. That's changing instruments. If also something else that's really cool, if you're working on a song in 12 keys, you can do some cool stuff like, or if you want to say, yeah, let's start with tempos. So say I want to go, I'll start at, whoops, I'm going to start at 80 BPM. And I'm going to loop these 4 bars, excuse me. Oops, sorry. Practice tempo. So let's say I want to increase by 10 BPM every repeat. It's going to do that for me. So actually, yeah, you can see in the top right corner, we're at 90, or maybe it's telling me it's going to 90. So now you can see it's either at 90 or at 100. I can't remember offhand, but you can see it's increasing. I find that one really sick. I usually do smaller increments than that, but that's something. And then also, if I want to take something through the keys, you can do any of these intervals of transposition. So let's do, so you can visually see, let's do 2 half steps. So a whole step. Sorry, I could have done this faster, but cool, right? So one of the many, some of the many reasons why I love this software. Just moving along here. So I am working on some Bob Reynolds tunes. Yeah, and one of them is kind of crazy time signatures, but that's not to really show you the Bob tune. What I wanted to show you was the fact that you can actually create your own tunes inside IrealPro. So I was able to create it with, 4/4, 1 bar of 2/4, 1 bar of 3/8, the same way the song is. And then I put in my own chords, and I could even tell it to repeat 4 times, as I've said here. And then this next part is repeated twice, and then this and this and this. So it's basically the full structure of the song. I can again play with whatever sounds and instruments that I want. I can play it through the keys if I want. Yeah, so that's really sick. Of course, you can also change if you want swing or if you want straight or how you want the band to play. It's going to be a little wonky, but we're going to do it anyways. So even ace. Just a different feel. I don't think it can swing in some of these time signatures, but anyways, it's just a really powerful tool for practicing, and I really like it, especially, at my level. So what else? I think that's kind of everything. For me, actually, really, really essential. I need to have a Pomodoro timer of some form. I think I have another video on Pomodoro timers, but long and the short of it is you're playing in 25-minute increments. And for me, it's really important because, I'm aware of how long I've been practicing. So some days, if practicing is, a bit more of a drag, then that 25 minutes is going to kind of cap things off for you. And other times, if I'm like really in the swing of things, sometimes I'm practicing too long and it's like not good focus practice. So this list keeps it contained. 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 4 times, then 15-minute break is how they do it. But I always use this for those 2 reasons. 1, so that I'm not over practicing, and 2, so I'm not under practicing. Kind of just hits me in that sweet spot. I have experimented with Pomodoro timers, but I don't know. This has been the least clunky amount of tech for me. Otherwise, the tech starts to get in the way of the practice. So that's that. And OneNote. You can use any note-taking app you want. I just kind of fell in love with the UI of OneNote. I know some people like Obsidian and things like that. This one syncs to my cell phone. I use it for just about everything. I have a whole nother OneNote workbook, let's say, at work in my work account. I use it for everything there. Here I have it. So different tabs for different things. I have like a whole daily practice thing. If I have a particular gig coming up, I'll dig into that. I have my own Quartet gig coming up, which I haven't even announced yet. I'll just go through and make sure I write down exactly what I did, because some days I'll look back and be like, man, I didn't practice enough. So here it's like logged. Okay. And each Pomodoro is going to be listed. So I did 3 Pomodoros of 25 minutes, just going over 8 bars of harmony on fiction. And then I wrote down what I did. Sometimes I'll write down thoughts about how to keep myself moving forward. Just any thoughts I have, anything at all. After that, I did a Steve Kortica melodic cell exercise, moving through the keys in half steps. And then I started to steal some piano lines and just some suggestions for myself about how to continue going forward. So that is basically everything for the daily apps that I use for practicing. So I hope that is somewhat helpful.